exactly. But yeah, no, this Dota's been hype, man. Like I don't feel bad about missing out at all. This has been some amazing games of any Dota. Yeah, it's been 2-0 so far, but
Yeah.
like it's been really dynamic, good drafting from both sides, and while like at one point the game feels really one-sided, the build up to that, the game was dead even for a very significant period of time. So I'm enjoying it. It's been a great day, Dota, and obviously I haven't been casting in a while, so it's great to be back on the microphone. But looking at game two, Onyx looking for a new strategy to go into this one, as something you alluded to in the last game is the potential for them banning Wyvern in phase one. And the draft order matters a lot, because if you have first pick, you don't have the last ban. And so in this situation, NP had the first pick, and they actually don't know what Onyx's second ban is going to be. So let's say instead of a Lone Druid, a Wyvern does get banned out here. Meepo is then a very significant threat, and you have to pick a lot more to counter him than just one or two heroes. So in this case, the second ban is just going to be the Meepo. Take that out of the equation entirely and play their game. And so this does obviously put more heroes in the pool, particularly the Ember Spirit, something we haven't seen in most drafts. I think it's almost always first ban, and now we see that that is actually going to be available.
But I love what MP do. They're like, you want to pick the Ember? We're going to have the Doom ready for it.
So you're always going to have an answer, but at the same time, then like, a bunch of heroes pick up Lincoln Spheres, and that creates some difficulty.
That's
it
true.
really comes down to the early game, like how SVG uses the jungle and his devoured creeps to really make his mark. But
I like it though. But putting out the Doom is not just. It's just. I feel like it says so much more than just I have a Doom. It's like go ahead and pick the Ember. You know, just like last game, and you felt good about getting the Meepo. We'll have something ready for it. So I'm curious. It's like a power play by MP here, and I'm curious if Onyx are going to take and just go for the Ember, or if they're going to challenge MP. And I don't know, maybe pull out something new.
Yeah, the difficulty is Envy can play the Ember Spirit really well as well, especially the new magic-based one. So if you don't pick it, you might be leaving it for him. And they're actually going to reserve time thinking about this. They go for Mason's Weaver, something that was banned out in Phase 2 of the previous game. And now they have to make a decision whether or not they actually want it. And they'll go another route. Negative armor, really good against Doom in the early game. Late game, 6-slotted Doom's going to have like plus 40 armor through all his items. But earlier, the better as far as actually taking him down, dramatically reducing his effective HP, and making him actually seem like flypaper to an extent.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this 1-2 pick from Onyx. I think they made the best out of what could have been a very awkward situation, being forced in that situation of, are we going to now have to pick this Ember or not? And it's good. It's good.
There it goes.
But, you know, as you're saying, it's like, that's fine by MP. It's like, we have already, it's like, if you're going to do this, we're going to do that. And in this case, it's you're not going to pick the Ember, we'll take it for ourselves.
Yeah. Now, obviously, negative armor is still really good against Ember Spirit, has a very low base armor, bad agi gain for an agility-based hero. But, yeah, we'll see how good the initiation comes in from Onyx here. Presumably going to have Bulba play that. That's one of his like top 4 played heroes in this patch. But, you know, obviously we have seen some 4-position play as well. And
yeah,
Dubu
I was going to say, what if they wanted to do a 4-position Slaughter Dart and still get like a Nyx for Bulba?
Yeah, definitely could see that working as well. Anything with more control is going to be better for them in general. But yeah, we have seen obviously a lot of 4-position Slaughter Dart in America specifically, and Dubu's playstyle really fits what you'd be looking for there. By default, though, I'm expecting it to be in Bulba's hands, and we'll just see how the draft progresses.
Yeah, then they could still get Earth Spirit, let's say, for Dubu if they want. I wouldn't mind it. He has that silence tool that could work nice against the Ember Spirit. The thing with the Spirits, a lot of them are even just good against each other. I mean, I could even see MP possibly go for it. But then again, I forgot Doom's there, and all these teams have been running Doom in that 4 position.
No Rubik pick just yet. That's one thing that was very popular in the previous series, where obviously PPD plays it, Z-Freak they both played it a lot. So in that matchup, it was very, very important. In this one, I just think it's solid because there's some good things to steal. Crush, Shikuchi, as well as the Doom Ultimate and a few of Ember Spirit's abilities. There's a lot available that they could take advantage of, and I think that Rubik probably is a strong Phase 2 pick for either side.
I'm totally behind you on that. But we'll see. MP recognize it here and now, and if they don't favor picking it, maybe they'll consider even banning it. For now, targeting more of the mid lane, though, as they already put the ban onto the Shadow Fiend. I'm curious if they're just going to start making sure they have Ember Spirit with a decent matchup here. I don't know if they'll consider like Invoker also a possible threat, but it looks like they're going to settle for a Dazzle ban instead. Dazzle could have been even something maybe they wanted to go for on their own side. You get the benefit of the armor, which you know you're going to possibly need. But no, just the ban out.
Yeah, so since his debut on Onyx, the
10
only hero that
seconds
Abed has
remaining.
played that is still left in the pool is going to be that Invoker.
5
Obviously,
seconds
Wexvoker is
remaining.
considered actually pretty powerful against Ember Spirit, and I would say it's arguably pretty good against Doom, because
Reserve
he's going to be
time.
lacking mana early on. Getting an EMP can shut him down pretty hard. At the very least, he's only going to get one spell out. He's not going to be able to take advantage of like the Satyr or Purge or whatnot, but made the call earlier
Dire
about the
team
Rubik. I
pick.
think it's a very strong pickup from Onyx here, and I think that it's going to be able to set up their initiation or at least follow through with it very effectively.
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of talked about Rubik a bit and already what he adds to the game for either team, so this is not
10
too
seconds
surprising of a
remaining.
pickup for him. And I also agree that Invoker is a
5
plausible option
seconds
here
remaining.
for Onyx. I'm surprised MP didn't just wanted to ban it flat out and went for that Dazzle ban instead, but
Radiant
here
team
the
pick.
Rubik will come out and then
Mm.
MP move in for the Disruptor pickup now. Something to help, I guess, contain and crowd control the Weaver will be nice. No Lincolns is going to stop that.
Yeah, the big thing here is that Weaver does not like to build BKB. This
Yes.
newer build Weaver likes a lot of
10
items, but BKB is
seconds
not
remaining.
among them. So forcing him to go for that as a second or third item is very strong,
5
especially if you can get it
seconds
out of just one
remaining.
hero, the Disruptor. Ember Spirit is not going to prompt it, so the Disruptor is the hero to kind of force Weaver to
Reserve
go into
time.
it. And then, of course, late game, you got the Aghanim Scepter, so that is kind of an AoE Doom on top of your single Doom, making it so
Dire
that he
team
can't
pick.
even use his BKB if he wants to. So a very powerful potential pick. Great for the lockdown in terms of positioning control. All around, I really like the Disruptor, and I think that obviously Team MP have shown that they have the strength to really make the most of the hero.
Onyx move
10
on to a
seconds
Jug.
remaining.
Helps as a good counter back to like Disruptor. Obviously, you have the Blade Fury benefit of not getting
5
picked off and
seconds
caught
remaining.
out. What about your thoughts on maybe MP going for an Axe here
Reserve
for
time.
MSS if you need something to help lock down onto the Jug a bit? Other than that, I would even say, I'm going to say bold like a Faceless Void. Time Dilation is so good against Weaver, but I feel like is quite underutilized for a lot of teams. We have, especially in America, not seen like any Faceless Void play outside of their pubs.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
Underlord's still here as far as
You're
an option
right.
for MSS.
Yeah.
It obviously combos very well with the Disruptor. Anybody who's played Dark Moon should know that by now. But yeah, it might even be overkill to an extent as far as how much AoE control I have between the steering chains, the kinetic field, and the Pit of Malice. But I mean, more roots never hurt anybody, so I could see a lot of potential value in the Underlord, who a lot of
10
teams
seconds
consider to be a
remaining.
first ban, and we got to see the prominence of it in that previous game to an
5
extent.
seconds
There's
remaining.
lots of MSS options, yeah.
So Dark
And they're going to go for the one
Yeah.
that wasn't talked
Well,
about. They're
the
gonna
thing
go
is,
for
like,
Zedtar.
Team
MP's playstyle, all MSS has to do is just add, it's very similar to Bubbles. It's just add in some kind of generic AoE control. If you have any kind of AoE lockdown, some good hard
Dire
stun, or
team
at least
back.
positioning control, like MSS can fill those shoes really well, and Centaur is among it. Like I think that overall, being able to allow your team to be extremely mobile with the Stampede and get in really good positions can be really good. And there's so much counter initiation
10
potential.
seconds
I
remaining.
think in this position, MP would prefer that Centaur was a Slardar, but since Slardar is
5
already taken, I
seconds
think
remaining.
Centaur is a great hero to fall back on.
Final ban from Onyx here, anticipating what could have been the Owie Sven, knowing that he could have provided an extra bulk in the durability and armor for the team, and something Owie had used not long ago. And an MP get rid of the Sand King. Last pickup for MP is the ever so lovely, of course, Naga Siren.
Beautiful.
Here.
Just
Naga
beautiful.
Siren.
Dude, when you talk about Naga Siren as a resident sleeper, you have to think about the difference between an offensive ultimate from her and a defensive one. And yeah, there's a lot of times where Naga Siren's just doing a farm fest, just Manta, Radiance, Octary, BOTs, and just being annoying all over the map and disengaging from every fight. But here, there's so much potential follow through. You have that kinetic static storm on top of a Song of Siren ulti. You have the Centaur Warrunner following it up. Like, these are going to be some aggressive ultimates, and I think that they can actually win several fights just on the sleep alone. So, great utility. They're going to put it out there. They did read that this was going to be a 4-position Slardar. They banned out Sand King as their last, so they assumed that Bulbo was going to be playing another offlaner, and he is. It's going to be this Omni Knight that instead of the Slardar. Last time that Bulba picked up the Omni Knight, they were able to like snowball the game in 20 minutes, and we'll see what he can do with it here.
Was that to the benefit of Omni Knight? And why the Omni Knight? Is that strictly a response to the Naga Siren just having the benefit of that repel and being able to kind of deal with any song? Is it, I'm just curious if the Omni-Knight had been something that possibly was already premeditated by Onyx, or if this is something that they have spontaneously fallen on.
It was the last pick in the match that they played, so it's kind of like they get a feel for the game, they decide whether or not it's going to be worthwhile, and it does contribute a lot. Like the repel is obviously one of the key aspects of Omni Knight. Since the last patch, or at least 7.0, you cannot dispel repel, you cannot purge it. And like reading that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this hero is actually going to be insane. But we haven't seen enough of it, to be honest with you. I definitely feel like we can see more out of Omni Knight. But yeah, Bulba's going to pick it up in the offlane role. He's going to allow all three heroes, Juggernaut, Weaver, and Slardar, to get a lot more aggressive, and we'll just see what they can make of it.
Looks like as we get into it, we get into a pause. Every game we start with a pause.
Oh, last one, we did not. Last one was smokes and first bloods out the gate.
I remember I was excited because it was one of the rare ones where we didn't start with a pause. I heard that they don't give the players the strategy time that we all get when we go into queue.
Sure. I guess that's true, yeah. They wouldn't.
They just should. Like, by this point, it's like the draft concludes, and whoever's casting, I guess, has like a 30-second window to just kind of take in the draft and get their premeditated thoughts.
But you can't. The thing is, you actually can't ping or draw on the minimap in the strategy phase, and it's actually a really key tool for certain captains to get things started. I mean, if you're trying to negotiate our early ward play, like you're seeing drawn on the map by Slardar there, if you're trying to decide where you're going to specifically move for a first blood play like that, those 30 seconds can be extremely valuable.
Well, they should definitely add that in. I'm just saying that when you start a game and then you start with a pause, it's unfortunately a bit hype-killing at that moment. But, okay, we're back into it now, everybody. Unpaused and ready to play. Game number 2 of our second series of the day. Team Onyx taking on Team NP, with NP already getting the one-game win. They are in the winners of this Group B after a swift takedown in their previous series as they matched up against SG Esports here. Onyx, who had taken down Infamous, and they're hoping to get that free scoot into the playoffs, where we saw earlier today Complexity already secure their spot.
And Bulba going to be, I don't know, having some issues here. Doing a quick reconnect, getting back into the game. But I guess we already have some early ward action here. Dubu gets to go all the way out and place that lower plateau ward between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 bottom. This makes it so that if Centaur gets any help from the Doom, it should be scouted out. So Rose is going to be making the movement. Actually, not SVG. When I was coaching Shazam, SVG was the main roaming support. He was very involved.
Yeah.
He was very active in terms of rotations.
Lots of Tusk at that point.
Yeah, Tusk, his Earth Spirit was amazing. Elder Titan as well.
Yep.
But here we're actually going to be seeing this strength roaming pseudo jungler to be actually in the hands of 1437.
Yeah.
He played an amazing game last time, so maybe he's just more confident on it, or vice versa. It could be just SVG really wanted that disruptor, but
no, it seriously has felt like that it's been a role change for a while now. We've seen Rose on the Mirana as well. He's definitely been more the roamer and just kind of switching that profile with SVG. But it's not to say that 1437 hasn't been in this position before. I remember back on his time with, I believe, Navi US it was. He was the Enchantress player roaming around sniping couriers, That
was so long ago, but you're right. And while he did play a little bit of high position when he first started on MP, I remember a lot of Shadow Demon. Now he has kind of started to fill this role where he's more active, and we'll see what he can do with it. So early Devour will obviously be looking for the neutral camp, see if he can get some Mud Golems out. Satyrs, Mud Golems, all both pretty good. You can do work with the Hellbear Clap, though, as well. So it just comes down to what you have in your arsenal and what lane matchup you can kind of levy.
Our mid lane matchup is going to be between the Ember and the Jug, a swordsman fight, if you will, as they begin to trade early on, your Flame Guard versus your Blade Fury.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Flame Guard only receives 50 magic absorption before it is absolutely gone, so there's really no comparison until at least level 2 of that ability.
As that matchup will continue here, it does look like Rose is going to pay some early attention towards the bottom lane matchup. For now, just Mason and Demon trying their best to keep MSS backing away, but he is a big boy after all. The poor man's shield and lots of regen in his pocket. It's going to take a lot of effort to kind of keep him back. Rose shows himself now, so we're not anticipating they're going to be able to get a whole lot done. Now, on the other side, you can say the same for Bulba, though. I mean, Bulba, he's also poor man's shield, regen ready. with Dubu hanging around. So it's pretty much a wash in the early laning stage as far as on paper.
Yeah, and the strength of the Omni Knight in the laning phase, if he's not 1v3, if he's either the supportive Slaughter here, as we can see, or just the fact that the Doom is nowhere near his lane, he can start getting much more aggressive. He can use Degen Aura to make last hitting harder for his opponent, Aoi, and just in general, like, be very far up here. I mean, he's probably going to go 1-1-1, so he can stop Glimpse and Kinetic play as SVG starts to gain levels, but right now he gets to play very far up, knowing that Disruptor has nothing but Thunderstrike to work with.
Dubu is pieced out, though, from that top lane. Got the head start for Bulba, I guess, for now, and now will join his comrades at the bottom. And maybe it hopes to catch out Rose flirting around, or even MSS moving too far forward here, but still just kind of lost in translation as far as where they want to be. Mid lane, it's Envy just barely etching ahead of Abed, at least for now. 11-5 over Abed's 8-3.
So at least for now, it's going to be a nice start for NP as a whole. Aoi is going to be able to build up towards some really good items. He's actually going to go for the 4-man shield himself. And as SVG again gets levels, it's going to be more difficult for Bulba to stay so far forward without any help. But bottom lane's actually going to be a movement from Rose here. He's got double damage rune, but Mason too quick on his feet, and it's going to be the Doom and the Centaur have to pull back.
Man, it's pretty damn neck and neck. I checked to one side, there's a bit of harassment, no follow through. The other side, you get a bit of the same thing here. Almost a mirror match at this point in time. Same even goes for our mid lane for now. I'm very curious at what the tipping point will actually be. I was suspecting maybe at the 2-minute mark a fight over a bounty rune, but as it stands for now, they're just going to continue to kind of trade some blows and step off. Uh-oh, here we go. Mid lane, possible rotation coming out. Demon making chase. Can he get close enough for the telekinesis? He can get close enough for the Fade Bolt.
Yep.
And that will get the kill.
A little bit more range on that one, and that's going to set up Demon really nice as he gets to buy boots very early on a Rubik. It's oftentimes you'll have to wait through, because you have to buy the Flying Courier at 3 minutes as the 5, then you have to wait a couple more minutes to finish up those boots, and then you really get to start being more mobile, more active. But that early first blood, and suddenly Demon is in the money, at least for a 5, and he's going to be able to start being more active with the smoke and etc.
I wonder if he's going to be dirty and just do the ancient pull. I wonder what helps them decide on when they feel comfortable doing it or not. If they even think it's like a, BM kind of a thing, or if they're just like, it's not necessary at this point in time.
Yeah, it's more when Abed's fully capable of tanking the wave and a little bit of envy harassment as well. And right now, he's just got level 5, so maybe at this point in time, he's a little bit better suited for it. But they also have to have vision up on the high ground for that as well.
Bottom lane, Rose will cross paths with Dubu. They will have their own exchange. Just continuing to keep each other in check, the babysitters, if you will.
Oh.
Demon throws back Envy, snags up the regen rune. So see you later.
Unfortunate for him. He would have loved to bottle that one up, can allow him to trade very aggressively. He's already behind in this situation because of that first blood. Now Abed is closing on his level 6 first. If Envy doesn't have his Fire Rune to play around with, he's actually going to be very scared of Omni Slash. So in this case, the level timings matter a lot, and not getting that regen rune means he can't trade prior to 6. So Abed is going to get a lot out of this lane for the next couple minutes now, jumping up to the top of CS, 27 and 10.
Takedown of the ward right there. Bulba's trying to get himself reacquainted in the lane. Has no mana though, so may have to pull off. We'll see if he goes back for the shrine or not.
Yeah, initiation on Centaur means he had to TP all the way back to base. Does finish up the Tranquils, but a long walk back to the bottom lane as they had already used their shrine earlier. So in this position, I would say that Bulba is actually getting a little bit more out of his offlane situation, and obviously, we talked about it, Abed's getting a lot more out of the mid lane, as he is now level 6 and should be ready to roll with an Omni if they just get the right position on Envy.
Well, Demon's here to help out. Could get close enough for the lift. That's the moment. He's looking to move in. Oh, Envy is going to be running right back. And Demon will not be
Demon really wanted that one, jeez.
Yeah, all the way up into the high ground, too. Rose was nearby in case things got a bit too frantic, but the opportunity will come and go. And Abed will have to hold his Omni for now. But nearby, Dubu's got some of that purple goodness, and they're going to pop the smoke. And round the corner here. And right through a ward that Envy is going to... Hi, how you doing, everybody? Oh, he gets the chains off, but the lift will be there. Pulls him right back and into the crush. Do they have enough damage? Oh, they may. With this Blade Fury, it should be good enough. Okay, that will do it. A couple right clicks. Envy goes down again. He is the 2 kills. that Onyx have claimed already this game.
Yeah, and they didn't have to spend Omni Flash on that. So while Envy should have the Fire Remnant available for the next exchange, it's still a tool that Abed has that you can just get a couple swift strikes in right when Demon's Lift comes through.
Rotations back to mid lane. Rose was here, but not going to find opportunity. It's now a 3-on-2 hanging out in this mid lane as Dubu and Demon are not looking to back away at this moment in time. Let's go back and check out what's happening bottom. Mason's kind of having his own free will in the CS game, just matched up alone against MSS, means that he can pull ahead of everybody. 40 and 17 for him.
The big surprise for me right now is actually how underleveled SVG is. He's 3.5 right now at 7 minutes into the game. Just every single pull that he's gone for has been messed with by Bulba. You've seen a lot of play back and forth between them under the trees. And even Bulba's gotten a side pull or two off. So now Envy's going to clear out a stacked camp.
Oh, Rose is in trouble mid lane. It looks like he's going to be going down. Dubu and Demon continue to hang around. Sound like a pretty good tag team right there. Demon, Dubu, Dubu, Demon.
Doing work. And yeah, they're going to continue to allow Abed to just prosper in this mid lane. Should be able to build up a very nice solid core of items. I assume he's going to go for the Helm of the Dominator, as most Juggernauts have been tending towards recently, and obviously that's going to be a great tempo item for trying to push this game out before the Radiance comes online.
I was talking a bit with Lacoste about this, I believe yesterday, on the topic of Helm of the Dominators and then drums, both at about the same price point. Do you really think there's too many cases anymore where you're going to want to favor drums over the new Helm of the Dominator?
I really wouldn't say so. There are some... Oh, MSS probably going to die down bottom.
Yeah, they've made their move in. The lift, the crush, he gets the stomp off. And obviously so close to level 6, but does not have the Stampede.
Damn. As far as drums go, I mean, yeah, you get a little bit more value for intelligence hero. Like, still 6 to all stats except for Agi. So, in general, it's only when you really need that movement speed or attack speed active to try to secure a kill. I like it alongside heroes like Sven that really lack in attack speed and can kind of really benefit from the movement speed as well. But as far as core heroes picking up, you're just not going to see it. Invoker is probably the only exception to that.
Fair enough. Bulba still residing in the top lane, man. He's been committed here through and through, now towards level 7.5. Getting closer to the point when he can be able to bring in the Guardian Angel. A lot more wallop to the team. He already has his Arcanes, and it looks like he is slated to move on forward and get a hold of that mechanism.
Well, while Onyx put pressure down bottom, they were actually also able to get another Observer Ward on that plateau between Tier 1 and Tier 2. So they've kept that ward up essentially the entirety of this game. It's so hard to make any surprising moves down bottom.
Commitments in from Envy. Remnants forward with the chains. Finds himself crushed, but yeah, SVG will help pull back with that glimpse. Abed will have to watch his teammate go down, and it will be a successful gank there by NP.
Bulba, just not afraid of anything. With level 3 Repel and TP, usually you won't see a Naga Siren and Snare, so you really don't have to worry about any kind of control they're going to be bringing your way that you can't get glimpsed back, and etc. I'm actually kind of, I mean, obviously Riptide and Mirror Image are extremely good farming tools for Aoi, but yeah, eliminating any kill potential because he doesn't have the Ensnare.
And on the other side of the map, you also have Mason continuing to farm up very nicely. It looks like for him it'd be straight to the Lincolns as the Perseverance already complete. I imagine we're not going to be seeing too much from him, or not too much needed from him moving forward, though. As I say that, Onyx are starting to move down here in the bottom lane. He may need to get himself involved here, as Onyx are reading this and seeing NP close by. SVG walking up now. They do not want to get glimpsed back.
But yeah, again, that ward, just like they know exactly what they're getting into every time they make an approach down bottom. There's no surprises to be had here, because I mean, they've had 2 wards on that hill for full duration. It's just...
Rose has a sentry in hand, but he hasn't figured to kind of even try putting it down on that high ground.
Yeah, it's very deep. They're gonna look back on the replay and be like, oh, that explains everything. That has ruined all of their plays down bottom, specifically from Rose, and it's just been problematic. But now the Doom is level 6, so no matter what happens, if he can just TP to a lane and respawn, they should be able to get a counter.
Hopes of a setup there on Envy in the mid lane are not going to be happening. Envy will head himself on out as he continues his track towards the Veil. Meanwhile, below, MP making their advancement towards the Tier 1. Being pinged out now by Bulba. Maybe they're figuring they can get their own push here in the top lane and maybe respond towards the bottom lane. We'll have to see. He has leveled up Guardian Angel now, so Onyx may feel comfortable about trying to take a fight.
Yeah, once you get the Arcane Boots, Guardian Angel, it's pretty reliable to get off, even with limited mana. And it looks like, yeah, he just wants to make the play down bottom here, and they had a two-man smoke that now isolates Owie.
Owie has a song. Is he going to be able to get it off? Yes. Abed, though, is spinning already. There'll be the Stampede coming out from MSS to allow the clean getaway.
So
That will be a song down, though, for a long time.
Yeah, most definitely. Just kind of getting caught off guard there. A two-man smoke from a while away. And yeah, that'll be one of your defensive ultis. Of course, it is going to be at the longest cooldown, too. 3 minutes at level 1. Means that they're not really going to have any tools for engagement with both Stampede and the song unavailable. You either have to have a really nice positioning play from SVG, or, yeah, you just have to kind of YOLO it with the Doom.
A golden thread. Dire's top tower
MP continue to hang here in the bottom lane, but Onyx are not about hanging around. They go back to work as it is here. Touching base with Mason. He's still neck and neck with teammate Abed as he pushes on forward for the Lincolns. Abed here looking to finish out and build into what you were mentioning. Yeah, it's going to be the home of the Dominator buildup. And now a ward being spotted as Dubu drops it from the low ground. He moves up, hits with the Thunderstrike. Now is at risk of being glimpsed inside. The chains will miss from Envy, and they will decide not to go forward with the glimpse.
Yeah, no slight at all. Just now picks it up at level 11 here, so that means Envy unable to really get what he needed out of that to try to go for any counterplay. So again, we're just going to spread things out. The ward, however, like you mentioned, was spotted, so that should be giving NP an edge, at least on the top half of the map, while down bottom, we're just going to see continuous pressure from Onyx. And even going deeper, Dubu has gotten 3 great wards in the bottom lane, and it's just going to be making it so that NP cannot respond to defend their tier 1 tower.
Yeah, this whole situation can be easily read like a book here by Onyx, so NP take their business elsewhere, as it looks like they have smoked in hopes of maybe getting the catch here on Mason.
Oh, can they get the static? They got it.
They charge in. They'll have to burst him down with this static because I don't think they have detection for it. The Remnant's going to be there, and they will get it done. Onyx rolling in from the east side now towards this mid lane. Envy wants to get the jump for Demon, and they will be able to do it. The crush not going to be good enough. And Bulba can't get close enough to assist. A glimpse will be there by SVG. They bring back Dubu, lock him into a cage of pain, and we'll finish him off. This turns into an MP feeding fest right now as they take down 3.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Just being able to follow through on a couple of key targets, getting the Stampede jump on the Weaver, locking him in a cage of death, and the glimpse was actually set up by an Observer Ward, which they thought was on the high ground, and now is just a really great tool for them to see what's coming from the Shrine and to solidify those kills. So overall, really great stuff from SVG and from Envy, just being able to move very well and getting a lot of damage out here as December Spirit starts to kind of find his peak in terms of his magic damage output.
Onyx come right back from losing a couple to taking it towards the tier 1, though, to make up for the bit of lost change. And then they head right off here. Nice another deep ward will be planted from Dubu. And then they roll out. MP get back to their grind. A tier 1 will be finished bottom here for Rose, who's going to go for the Midas here. So he's planning for the late game, playing the build, probably tank up later on. While Onyx move in and begin to go for the Roche. Obviously the Slardar makes this quite a bit easier, but are MP going to do something about it? They smoke and it instantly gets popped by Dubu. Owie does have a song, doesn't look to dish it out just yet. Dubu, Riptide, there's the heal, they're jumping in. Are they going to continue to save them? There's going to be the song.
3-man Static Storm coming out from SVG. This is perfect setup.
Are they going to drop it right on the head? Yes, they are. They're going to be able to get between the two, and then they burst out with the chains, the right clicks from MSS, and there they both go. Omni Knight and the Rubik going to be taken out. Dubu's going to get dropped next. Mason also getting within. He gets caught out. He's ensnared. He's Riptided, and he's gone. 4 dropped. Only Abed surviving. MP will be happy to move in and finish what Onyx had started.
Yeah, this team is really bad at taking Roche at this stage of the game, but handed to them on a silver platter with 4 dead and the Roche already below half HP. They take this one easily, and that's all about that offensive Song of Siren. You think it's a snooze fest when Nog comes out to play, but I live for those kinds of plays, man.
Dubu running in says, I'm glad you got that Aegis, and then gets glimpsed right back home. So
Well, might
he's
be.
all the way back in the base. Onyx, they get a pick off. Yeah, a little one on Doom. But obviously, MP with 2 big back-to-back fights, plus a Roche, they are the ones in command. But Onyx do have cooldown. They have the Guardian Angel still to use. They're moving forward. They do not want to let this game slip away.
Yeah, now they know all those cooldowns are unavailable. I think it was actually a level 1 song at the time, so that's a 3-minute cooldown on the song, now 2 minutes. And the Centaur obviously not able to do much either. So they're not afraid of anything here on the front line. They're going to put a lot of damage to this tier 2, and the healing ward should allow them to finish it off.
There is an Envy Remnant right over here by the tier 1.
He's got Aegis, so even if he goes down the first
Dude is
time,
waiting. He's like,
it might be bait.
there he goes. He jumps in now and already makes his mark. Remnant's all the way across.
Oh!
A beautiful Static Storm. Going to get dropped for the man who looks like Jesus, SVG. They take out one, and they're looking to take out more. Guardian Angel does come out from Bulba as Onyx trying to make a counterplay out of this. Mason takes it to Rose with the right click, but ultimately may need to backpedal a bit. They try to run up, but Envy's waiting. And now it's going to be Bulba, unfortunately, who will get ensnared. He gets right-click down. Next up in chain, it's going to be Abed as Envy makes the chase. The glimpse is there. He's able to Blade Fury it off.
Oh, they're going for it, though.
Juke, but they stampede to make chase. He tries to run right through them, but they will slash him down. Double kill for MSS.
SVG Static Storm just finished cooling down in that situation. Spark, please don't nerf Static Storm's cooldown. I love it so much. 90 seconds, able to get it again as a fight-winning play. I think it ended up walking into the kinetic. It was baited so hard. The Envy Remnant, they're like, yes, we found our opportunity. And then they get 3 or 4 man Static Storm yet again without even the song to set it up. This was just absolutely perfect execution and timing from NP, and SVG just looks amazing right now.
And it feels like it just all stems from that one unfortunate, 3-0 team fight for MP in the mid lane. The laning phase was all going just splendidly for Onyx. But as you can see, a couple of clutch fights here, and MP are quickly finding themselves up and ahead. Already setting things up. A Remnant going to be thrown out behind the tower.
And Radiance is already up for Owie. So in all of this, he's gotten some decent assist gold. He only got the 1 kill, but just able to keep farming, build up his CS and his assist count, and suddenly he is rolling in it with this Radiance online by the 18-minute mark. Now approaching the tier 2. This is the exact opposite of what the position that Onyx needed to be in at this point in time.
Oh, the chase for Demon.
Nice repel. Nice repel. So they've got a couple tools to deal with Glimpse. The Blade Fury we got to see in mid wasn't enough, unfortunately, but we're going to see the repel coming out from the Omni, and that's going to be a saving grace. But you want to be breaking the enemy's tier 2s and even looking at high ground by the time that August Siren gets to Radiance. Otherwise, she's going to be accelerating the farm.
Yeah.
Her illusions are going to be breaking down the map. And here we see the exact opposite. They're losing out the multiple lanes. They're down 7 kills, and NP are just getting started.
They started at the pacing they needed to be at. They, being able to move forward and have an advantage moving into those first couple of fights, and then starting to restrict the farm for the Naga. But now they are nowhere near that mark, and they continue to just fall down and below. Demon and Bulba going to get picked off in the mid lane. Set up from MSS and company. SCG drops down yet another Static Storm Hammer. And they're going to be quickly taken care of. Tier 2 now being approached. NP just trying to breeze their way into another 2-0 today.
And of course, this is going to be putting them in the top seed for the playoff bracket of DAC Americas if they can close this one out. Right now, Onyx, to get back in the game, they just need a desperate amount of farm, and they probably need some picks on the Naga at this point. She hasn't even really been a factor this game, but she's going to be, now that she's got these key items. The Radiance, the BOTs are the essentials. From there, you get the Octarine, the Manta, and you are just going to control the entire map. So they really need to find picks on the Naga, but in doing so, they have to be worried about what lurks behind. The Centaur with the Stampede Blink, and of course this SPG Disruptor that's just been doing work.
It'd be so much nicer for Onyx if they had that initiation, but until Dubu's able to get a hold of his Blink Dagger, it seems like it's just so tough for them to be able to take chances to get the jump on MP or any sort of decent setup here. They're going to have to run it in sprint style right now. It's MSS actually jumping up north. And now Dubu looks to hustle in to try to find him here. Envy also nearby. They're going to get the crush, but no follow-up. Who's going to do the damage? It's supposed to be Mason, but...
And they're still terrified. They're going to get stomped, and it's going to be the death of the Slardar. Oh, TPing out at the last possible second. And it looks like there are going to be no casualties out of it, despite... Oh, wait, no TP from Omni. 25-second cooldown means Bulba is going to be going down.
Oh, heaven above. Help me out.
Omniscience can't save you from this one, man.
Yeah, he is done for.
They're dancing all around him, taunting him in place. Oh, Lulba indeed. This is just brutal. NP are doing so much work across the board. They surprisingly didn't get the slaughter out of all that, but, I mean, that was Onyx trying to make something happen, and it gets turned right on its head.
They might get Dubu after all, though. Bottom lane, as he continues to try to farm his way towards a Blink Dagger, he finds himself approached from MP. The MP members who were just there in the top lane killing, they're already here at the bottom lane, doing more of the same. See you later, Dubu. Blink Dagger, the dreams of a Blink Dagger seem further and further away.
Not for NP. They're pretty much rolling in it at this point. They still, remember, have a Midas on a Max Devour Doom, so he's getting a ton of GPM. The Naga is just going to be building it up extremely quickly, and Envy is doing extremely well for himself as well, rivaling both Jug and Weaver in net worth. So, at this point in time, he's actually going to be going for a Eul Scepter next for Envy, and with Blink, Veil, or did he sell the... Okay, he sold the Blink. I'm like, he's not that farmed. He doesn't have that much gold. If he just bought a Blink and a Eul's outright, that would be ridiculous. But ends up going for the... selling back the Blink, buying up the Eul's, and then he'll go back for Blink in the next interval.
Fair enough. He returns now. And they are
they got him.
To get Dubu. Yeah, set him with a Thunderstrike, glimpse back. No chance for him. He goes down, and now a numbers advantage for MP as they are 5 versus 4. Demon and Bulba trying to make it away, but Envy's new Eul is going to be put to work already as he gets the grab for Demon. The repel will come out from Bulba, though, and they'll be able to make it inside MSS, though. Ooh, posturing up on him a bit. Trying to be a little bit of a dominant factor right there. Forcing Onyx back inside where they feel it will be safe.
Oh, Doom onto Abed. Can they keep on top of him, though? Needs to, yeah, pops the Stampede. The Infernal Blade will allow them to keep him slowed, keep him crushed, and keep him killed. And that is going to be, not the delay of his Mantis style, as that is picked up in his death throws, but shut down Abed, who cannot continue to push the top lane.
In the meantime, Mason, I guess, is the one winner here for Onyx in at least the past few minutes. He'd been able to kind of push his way through that bottom lane up towards the tier 2, and he's found his way to be able to finish out his Desolator. So he has a bit of damage now under his belt. Problem is finding a way to be able to set up something for him to knock down. They're going to go for this top lane, but as said before, without having that Slardar Blink Dagger, way to really get in there fast enough, it's just going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, by the time that the Weaver really is getting all this damage online, we're going to see Rose pick up a Crimson Guard and have just the way to absorb almost all of it. Like, you were really looking for a much better timing on both the Blink and on Mason's progression, and that would allow you to kind of just Blink, Amp Crush, and kill off anybody. But as it stands right now, they don't have that just because of a sheer lack of farm. The net worth graph tilting more and more in MP's favor, and it just breaks down their initiation potential. They don't have any way to make these engagements happen.
MP's vision game is also just so good.
Yeah.
They just can totally see every time these Onyx supports or just Demon and Abed rotating from top lane to mid lane and back again, and Mason too. So they could just kind of take all this information in and decide where they want to strike. They're creeping their way there now. I was figuring maybe they could hold out for Envy just to get that Blink Dagger, but he's trying to dodge the Birch Creek.
Not too necessary, as he's using his Remnants for all the mobility that he could really desire.
And
Demon is going to lift him up here, but where's the follow-through without Duba's Blink?
Mason's here, gets some right-clicks out. There's going to be the Euls, and that's going to be it.
Best case scenario is they all get out alive. There's no way they actually fight into the opposition. In fact, it's going to be a glimpse back on Mason.
They get enough
to
have the vision, and Dubu's going to get pulled right back, and he's going to be put right back in the grave. Rose on a killing spree from that one now. MP in full control. It's time for them to start pushing away towards this top lane, the final tier 2 standing.
Yeah. At this point, like, SVG has had a geometry sight for the past several minutes, deordered the entire map. Obviously, Aoi is keeping the map consistently pushed out with the Octarine Radiance, and it just makes it so that Onyx are now stuck in their base without any real hope to bring this one back.
MP just really would love to be able to close this one out, maybe on the back of a sweet little pickoff here, and just having an advantage to be able to take it to Onyx when they don't have all 5, but for now they could decide to just wait off for the Roche to come up. It looks like they're going to have to wait just under a minute, and then they'll have the benefit of the Aegis here. Last time we've seen Naga even commit a song was level 1. Now she's already got level 16, so soon enough we'll have that level 3 song ready to go. Oh, Envy finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Is this a classic Envy situation? Nah, it looks like he's been able to rev it away. And we do have a song out, all set up, and possibly baited here. Bulba had the repel, though, is going to be fine to be able to make it away, and so will Dubu. So, song down.
Yeah, for what that's worth, it's got a 25% cooldown reduction thanks to the Octarine core. They still are in a position where they can well enough just take down this tier 2 tower. Mason trying to split push up top the best he can. But yeah, with tier 2 Falls Shrines and Roshan's back up and available. This is just all the steps that MP needs to take to close this one out. Onyx, they are hoping for a miracle. They are hoping for just the biggest of NP throws that you have ever seen. And trust me, those are big.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of video highlights out there of some of these NP members throwing kind of these kind of games, but this is not looking like one of those kind of games. Well and composed, NP have maintained total control of this one. And the onus has really been on Onyx to try to find their way back in because NP are not really dropping the ball.
Well, there's Greaves on an Omni Knight. There's about to be a dagger on Slardar. That's about all you really have working for you, but, you know, there's actually a decent chance that he doesn't even get to use the blink in the fight. If a single Radiance ticks on him from any of the illusions from the Naga, or any other stray damage comes out, he's actually just going to be the same hero that he was moments ago. So it definitely is important, and there are a number of kills that we've already seen in the past like 7 or 8 minutes that would have been set up if only he had the blink, but he's got to move very carefully in order to make the use of it.
Even now, slightly burned. Has to, step away from the Naga illusion. Envy on the high ground, though. Gets off a quick set of shades and is able to quickly make it out. Good position timing for him to be able to avoid what could have been certain trouble. Now it's going to be Onyx possibly in a bit of trouble and far from
easy
home.
double. Easy double.
There's the song set up. And here comes the stomp. Here comes the static storm. Here comes MP as they begin to quickly crush apart. Dubu could be set to go down here. Bulba going to be surrounded next. They dive out and over. First to go down is Demon. There's going to be Dubu dropping. Slashes out from Envy as it is going to be Aoi doing the bulk of the legwork here. Ripping through 3. Abed and Mason trying to fight for their own lives, but it's no chance at all. Ultra kill for Aoi as it turns into a full wipe of Onyx. I mean,
Abed desperately digging the TP scroll out of his backpack, like, spin TP, get out of here, but it's just too late. NP have just dropped the train on him, and all of these great Aoi 2000 initiations have set up a 29-minute victory and a 2-0 sweep for NP Dota.
NP look great, man. What a day for NP, what a day for complexity. They come into these matchups, and you really don't know what to expect, and I would say for MP versus Onyx, people would have probably favored MP a bit, but I don't know. Is it more that MP came and had like an A+ showing, and Onyx came with like a B showing, or what is it? Is it MP that much better of a team?
I think it's showing that Onyx still has a lot of growth potential.